I believe the next big star in the Jaguars franchise rebuild is cornerback Ezra Telfer, who is coming off the best game of his young career. His interception of Patrick Mahomes is going to be a tough play to top. As a 23-year-old rookie, I believe he's on the path to being a big-time star. As a rookie, in only 12 games, Telfer has 55 tackles, 4 interceptions, 2 deflections, and 2 sacks. I'm glad I decided to play him in the slot. Watching him blitz has been fun, even if he hasn't completed all of his sack opportunities. Given all that production, I think it's going to be tough for anybody to beat him out for Rookie of the Year, which could make him a superstar development player going into Season 2. He does have some competition, though, in the AFC. Steven Gates also has 4 interceptions, but doesn't have the sack production. That might be the ultimate difference maker. Not many cornerbacks are going to get sacks, not many safeties either. And we'll see if Ezra Telfer does anything else to strengthen his Defensive Rookie of the Year case, as we play 5 more games to try and take the Jaguars to the postseason for the first time in this franchise rebuild. It is our 4th year. But right now, it is our division to lose, with the other 3 teams under 500 currently. Injuries have been a big part of this year, and we are going to get Trayvon Walker back here for the stretch run pretty soon. But we're without Trey Benson, meaning our 2 rookie running backs will have to carry the running game the rest of the way. And really, they have the entire year anyway. They both have a lot of potential, and I do think Benji Cormier has been the overall better player to this point. I've really enjoyed watching him run the football. He has 4.5 yards a carry, a long of 39 yards, contributes in the passing game. Then the rookie Joe Johnson, who already has the star development, hasn't been all that efficient. He's certainly had good moments, and 9 touchdowns is rock solid, but is only averaging 3.4 yards a carry. And who knows, maybe Eli Arrington will be in a good mood today. We're getting him the football. He's had big catches the last few games. But it's a big week. Anthony Richardson is back and healthy with the Colts as they try to take down the Texans, which would be a big help for us. Can we get this division title run off to a good start today? Brian Thomas gets us started with a 5-yard touchdown. We've seen Chuck Johnson take really good care of the football this season. He finds Brian Thomas for a second score in the second quarter. And we're driving again at the 44 of Los Angeles. Again to Brian Thomas Jr. He seems to be Chuck Johnson's favorite receiver, which has changed a few different times, but it's definitely Thomas this season. There's Curtis Easley getting his usual 7 yards. 4 on the rush, and they get to Chuck Johnson, a sack at the 31. Can't take a loss here. Well, actually, we can. We have Aubrey. But here goes Johnson, scrambling his way to a first down. I downloaded an update before getting into the game today. I wonder if that could clean up any of the clock management we've been seeing. Here's Arrington on the catch. 31 seconds to go. No timeouts, Jacksonville. Johnson off his spot, and it's Thomas at the 1. They hurry up. It takes 17 seconds. And now the pass to the end zone is not a touchdown? Are we sure? Why does it have 17-second clock runoff, though? I could understand if it were a 45-yard gain and everybody's running down to get set. That was not quite a 45-yard gain. I'm giving Joe Johnson some of the carries here in the third quarter. See if he can show us anything as that pass is broken up for Thomas. Arrington out wide, 3rd down and 8. Johnson picks up some pressure, but not all of it. A sack for the Chargers. And here's the defense now with a 3-point lead to try and protect. It's Justin Herbert to the outside and Tyson Campbell all over that play. I could see Ezra Telfer being a long-term option for us in the slot. Does depend on the overall secondary and how that looks, because if he is one of our best, you want him covering the best. But it sure is fun to have an athletic guy there that can be a blitzer and just do a lot of things out of the slot. Nowhere to go here. It is incomplete. Chargers can't move the ball. You know, we could just skip to the fourth quarter of like every game because it's going to come down to that anyway with this team. We always hover around 500. These games just come down to the last couple possessions almost every week. But here we're up 3, trying to move to 7-6. It's Curtis Easley. The way the AFC looks this year, I think 10 wins gets us in the postseason. Johnson on the outside, knocked down. Charger football, nice blocking by Slater. A downfield pass, broken up in double coverage. Here's second down, pressure on Herbert, gets out of trouble, and should come close to the first down. Not sure if this is a running situation. It isn't for the Chargers. Herbert deep and knocked away. Tyson Campbell. Seeing a lot of contested plays. Hard to get open looks right now for either team. 607 yards, 50 receptions. So we've definitely seen his yards per catch go up. That would be a 12.14. Can we actually get to 14 yards a reception for Arrington? That would make him happy at least, temporarily, until we have the scenarios pop up again in the future. Who knows what Arrington's future in this series looks like. 6:30 left to go here in the game. Joe Johnson not getting upfield very cleanly. One thing to remember, too, with Johnson is that the bad and efficient games have affected his morale, so his ratings have fallen. 3rd and 3. It's caught. Big first down for Joe Wilder, number 17. Johnson to the outside and complete again. Brenton Strange. Now we hand it off, and Joe Johnson, not a ton there. 8 for 21. Wanted to make sure he got some work, but let's get Cormier back in there and see if he can close this game up. We head to the air. Arrington dropping his average with a 5-yard catch. 4 and change to go in the game. A leaping grab made by Brian Thomas. Not sure if the jump was even necessary, but it looked cool. And he continues to show up when we need him. Under 4 minutes to go now. A touchdown here could potentially end the game. Johnson gets it out, and Arrington, he's going to run with it to the 26. Don't be afraid to run the football a couple times, guys. Not doing it here. It's Arrington with the strong hands. Yeah, I think I've been wasting my time with the whole slot stuff with him. Does not need to line up there. 2.5 on the clock. Letting it bleed down a bit. No delay a game, please. Johnson. Nice hands by Cormier. The give. Cormier upfield and to the 1. It's goal to go. I think his vision has been better. He runs into blocks less. He just finds the open space, which anybody should be able to do on that play. Touchdown, Benji Cormier, for only the 2nd time this year, shockingly. Jaguars take a 2-possession lead. A play away from sealing this game. Chargers facing 4th and 6. Pressure coming. Mark Andrews comes up big in the clutch. Andrews an X factor. What has he been doing here in the franchise? They open up space for Josh Palmer underneath. But we're already in onside kick being a necessity territory as J.K. Dobbins proves he can catch the football and gets the first. 4-man rush. Herbert into coverage, and Telfer could not knock it away. But that's going to bring us inside a few seconds. The final play of the game and a penalty, which should be on them. We can decline that. Ball game. And the Jaguars will move to 7-6. Very big win for us in the AFC. Another clean game from Chuck Johnson. That has been a big improvement this year that I wasn't sure would happen. I didn't really change the playbook at all, but he always seems to throw more interceptions in simming, and even that's been cleaned up. And then the occasional, just kind of random interception hasn't been popping up very frequently. Curtis Easley does appear to be injured again. He has a 79 injury rating, which in Madden terms, that's one of the worst injury ratings you're going to get. There are lower. You can probably have some players that have it even in the 20s or 30s. That's extremely rare. But 79, far below average. And I don't know if we can re-sign him knowing that's going to pop up all the time. But a lot of upgrades here to go over. We have Chuck Johnson, who has continued to just play pretty phenomenal football. Now a true 83 overall, getting a boost to 84. Throw under pressure is up a couple. Throw on the run is always nice to have. Both are now 90. For Joe Johnson, this can help fight against some of the morale knocking down ratings. We upgrade elusive back, getting spin, juke, break tackle awareness. His ball carrier vision is an 82, and on some of these runs, he's not as efficient as he could be those first couple steps. Let's upgrade Ezra Telfer. We'll just keep him a scheme fit, go man to man. We get 2 press, 2 man, awareness, and play recognition. I think I upgraded the power for every one of our starting linemen last episode, so I'm going to go this time with agile. Especially more so for these tackles that have to defend more athleticism out there, I think, on average. Houston beat Indianapolis, of course. Anytime we have a little bit of a lead, we always see the Texans play well and stick with us. It happened a year ago. Then we flipped spots. They got the playoff spot, and we did not. And we get the luxury now of facing a very high-powered Viking team as we play a couple out-of-conference games against Minnesota and Green Bay. And one thing to keep in mind right now is that the 7 seed currently is Miami. They are 7-6, and that's our record. So there isn't much room for error if we do end up losing the top of this division. Not only did Houston beat them, but they did so decisively, 34-19, holding them to 251 yards. Something tells me the Colts are going to be far more competitive when they play us in a few weeks. I'm going to try and re-sign Logan Cook to get this one out of the way. That's $3 million. When it comes to Offensive Rookie of the Year, in the AFC, the Steelers have the top candidate right now. It's Kendrick Judge. 6 touchdowns, 510 yards, not very efficient, along with 133 receiving yards. That really isn't that much better compared to Joe Johnson, whose yardage is a little bit lower, but his touchdown production is really good. But I do think Cormier gives us a better chance to win, and I think that's been consistently demonstrated. More efficient, less fumbles, better pass catcher. Hard to just force it to Joe Johnson right now. This could be one of the highest scoring games of the year, you would think. Vikings score 29 a game. The Jaguars can keep up with the high-powered teams. We've seen it before. Touchdown for Minnesota. Kayvon Elam gets them on the board after we march down with an opening drive touchdown. Jacksonville trying to set the pace here in this game. It's a score for Joe Johnson. Give him 10 on the season. Intercepted, Devin Lloyd. Short field, Jacksonville. Can they cash in again? They do. Joe Johnson runs in another touchdown. Trayvon Walker, he's back and healthy this week as the Vikings trail by 14. And that run gets stuffed. It's Martin Cooper. I like seeing J.J. McCarthy lead a successful Vikings team here. I need that right now. McCarthy on target and caught at the sideline. McCarthy feels pressure and he gets out of there and he can really run. Josh Hines-Allen usually closes the gap at least, but McCarthy kept him from even getting close. J.J. McCarthy, clean pocket, finds T.J. Hawkinson for a Viking touchdown. Why do you sound too excited about that, Kane? Don't worry about it. You all know where my loyalty lies, right? Duval. See? I'm a Jaguars guy. Play fake. It is caught by Eli Arrington. Trying to score 4 first-half touchdowns on the Vikings. Johnson gives Cormier, and he gets taken down. Nothing there. 3rd down and 7. Johnson, nowhere to go. There was pressure from all angles. Big catch, Justin Jefferson. That will happen. We opened incredibly strong, but here come the Vikings. With a minute to go, caught first down, Jefferson. Not using timeouts yet. 30 seconds on the clock as McCarthy finds Hawkinson. This means Ezra Telfer's matched up with Jefferson. Nice open field tackle by Sergio Baxter. Vikings to 3rd down. 4-man rush. McCarthy throws for Hawkinson. Timeout, I assume. 17 seconds left. Big sequence here as Minnesota tries to close the gap. They have no timeouts to stop the clock, and McCarthy throws it away. I've seen Chuck Johnson throw it away often in these exact situations. McCarthy doing the same thing and does so on all 3 downs. But that's big. 4 points they ultimately do not come up with. That might matter by the end of this game. But the second half opens and the Vikings are going right back to work. Heavy pressure. Countered. Hawkinson. Touchdown. Minnesota takes the lead. 67-yard touchdown a couple plays later to Trey Tucker. I said this could be a high-scoring game. We have just hit 52 points. And I doubt we've seen the end of it. Vikings in Jaguar territory. It's McCarthy. Hawkinson breaks away. Racking up the yards today. McCarthy goes over 300. I know it's 2 good tight ends, but the last couple episodes, as McCarthy is sacked, we have seen tight ends produce pretty easily against us. Kansas City has that young tight end that replaced Kelsey. Now Hawkinson seems to always be open. JJ gets out of trouble, throws away. McCarthy on 3rd and 15. Hit by Martin Cooper. Great job defending the lead on that drive. And it comes back to us not giving Minnesota that touchdown before halftime. Our lead maintains, and Cormier maybe gets the line of scrimmage. Movement up front. It is against the Jaguars. It gets loud in here. I'm pretty sure that only made the crowd even louder. 3rd and 15. Caught easily. He's across. Come on. That spot is horrific. Come on, man. This isn't the Chiefs. You have to call that a first down. If I challenge this, I know I'm probably losing. What are the odds of overturning this call? We have thrown the red challenge flag. And the referees will take a second look at it and keep the football where it is. Guys, we could sneak for that. But on 4th down, it is a kick. And a very good one at the least. Not comfortable up 1 whatsoever. Vikings running away from their own goal line. But we have the defenders to stop them. Hands off, right side, and getting across the 10 now, Tyjae Spears. Vikings on 3rd down. McCarthy flushed, knocked away. Deflected by Nick Cross. Why is he out there? I don't know, but whenever he is, he's up for the challenge. A big stop and now a short field for the offense. A step closer to potential victory. Trey Tucker off the end. Gets 2. It's Cormier. And the Vikings front has definitely gotten better in recent years. Good to see some investing there. 3rd down and 5. Jaguars will face press coverage, needing the 33. Chuck Johnson completes it short of the sticks. I'm pretty sure they're going to kick it here. Nope. They surprise me. 4th and a full yard, it looks like. Cormier makes a move in the hole. What a run! He scores! Touchdown, Jacksonville! Tell me he shouldn't be out there right now. That's the play of the year for him. And that's the type of play that could be the difference in making the playoffs versus not. The Vikings have the perfect call. They have a linebacker blitzing one-on-one. It's all on him. Cormier, such an elusive player with the juke. Bynum gets caught a little flat-footed there. And Cormier sprints past everybody. And the Vikings just went 3 and out in response. We sacked JJ on 3rd down. What a performance by this defense. I mean, I know 27 is not a good game, but I think it's very situational. And they've come up big in enough spots to be part of the difference in this game right now. Under 3 minutes to go, already up by 8 points in Minnesota, and Johnson finds easily inside the 10. Uh-oh, LaDamian Bigby now reaching at his right arm. He comes off. 3rd and goal, Jacksonville. Here comes Tucker. It's Cormier, wrapped up and setting up a field goal for Brandon Aubrey. Kick is up and through, taking an 11-point lead on Minnesota. Hey, Joe Johnson flying down on special teams. That's a great play. Minnesota just doesn't have the time. They score with 9 seconds remaining. The 2-point try is caught by Jordan Addison, but it takes an onside kick. If we recover this, we get win number 8. Dribbler, scooped up by Trey Tucker, and the Jacksonville Jaguars win one of their most essential games of the year. The Kansas City one would have been nice. This is a solid 2nd place, though. It's an out-of-conference opponent, but we show we can beat a really good team. We get to 8 victories. And now I really want to see this team play playoff football. I think this is a dangerous team for anybody to have to face. And Minnesota found that out today. Really good game for J.J. McCarthy, and a very good game for Chuck Johnson, who only threw 2 incompletions all day. Cormier does enough on the ground, especially with that big touchdown run he put together. Joe Johnson still found the end zone on a couple short yardage touchdowns. And TJ Hawkinson had a very big game against our secondary. Surprised that with all the points and production from this game that Eli Arrington only had 3 catches, 45 yards. Johnson must have hit a milestone because he has 2 more upgrades. That is going to be the 10 touchdown milestone, getting him almost 11,000 experience. I'm starting with power back, hoping some vision gets in here. We do get 1 ball carrier vision, 2 break tackle. Give me 1 more of those. Break tackle, stiff arm, trucking. We do suffer an injury in this game and are now going to miss LaDamian Bigby for 3 weeks. I'm guessing Vita Vea's injury was a practice injury, so I don't remember seeing him out there during the game. Jacksonville now has a 2-game lead on the Houston Texans. We are not far from clinching this division finally. Alan Kelly has now overtaken Kendrick Judge for the Rookie of the Year lead in the AFC. Joe Johnson is now in 3rd place, Benji Cormier right behind him. Ezra Telfer still leads for Defensive Rookie, but now Jeff Samuels is in 2nd place. And the Texans' rookie defensive tackle has 5.5 sacks this year. Maybe the algorithm just really favors sack production over interceptions, because I'd rather have 4 picks than 5 sacks. Meanwhile, for the Titans, not much is going right for them, but their rookie tight end, Alan Kelly, does have 507 yards and 5 scores. This next game against Green Bay is unfortunately a Thursday night game, so no scoreboard watching to see how the Texans do. Not that it really matters, we're going to move very quickly as the Jaguars take a 2-possession lead in the second quarter. This is for our third straight victory. Not many 3-game winning streaks in this series. It's a good time to jump in here in the first half. Chuck Johnson, plenty of time, has Easley, who nearly has the first down. Packers send for Johnson. Good throw to Brian Thomas. To the air, screen for Cormier, and the slip screens have just gotten worse and worse. May have to just take those out of the game plan. We'll throw on 3rd and goal, though. A laser that's knocked away from Strange. We hit a 54-yard field goal in the fourth quarter, taking a 14-point lead with 7 minutes left to go. Jordan Love, the Packer quarterback, now an X factor. No other superstars in the offense, though, but he finds an open Jaden Reed, speeding away from Tyson Campbell. 3rd down for Green Bay. They need 6. Love faces pressure and runs away from it for the first down. Under 5 minutes to play. Here is Josh Jacobs now to the outside. Pressure off the edge. Telfer brings down Love for a loss of 10. And he has 3 sacks now on the season. Pointing up at the scoreboard. That's what I'm talking about. Jordan Love on 3rd down. Airs it out. Denied by Campbell. And Green Bay needs this one. Have to get to the 18-yard line. Love fires. Caught for the touchdown. They always find a way to do this. Touchdown Romeo Doubs. Just the tightest of windows in an unlikely spot, in Green Bay keeps their slim hopes in this game alive. And here it is again. Love is just gonna not even throw a dart, really. He had touch on it. And Baxter just a step slow to it. Okay, I don't know if the CPU does this every time, but it's become a new NFL strategy. Going for 2, down 8, and Jordan Love is in. There is a difference between tying the game and winning the game. And so teams now are trying to put themselves in a position to win the game here at the end. And the Jaguars now feel a little extra pressure, only up by 6. That Doubs touchdown, though, that was the most Packers thing that could have happened in that moment. They make these like sub 5% plays on a regular basis, but they're still not a consistent offense. They just thrive on the impossible. Here's Chuck Johnson. Sideline toss caught by EA. Cormier, he shakes a tackle, has the first down, and knows to stay in bounds and run that clock. His ability to make that first man miss is so incredibly valuable. Cormier in the backfield should, he's not getting the handoff because instead we're taking another sack. Slip screens, I think, can go away. And I feel like a lot of the NFL has done away with slip screens. They design just different types of ways to get the running back the ball, and I think lean more on receiver screens. And suddenly now 3rd and 21. And we haven't even hit the warning yet. Johnson, it's Tucker, gets away. Can he get there? First down. Sloppy tackling by Green Bay may have just cost him the game. It's cover 0. So if the first man there doesn't make the play, no one's left. A leaping Trey Tucker makes the catch, and it's a missed tackle by Xavier McKinney. What a catch and run. And that clinches it for Jacksonville before things could get out of hand. Wow, what a play. Those critical 1 to 3 plays that we need, that don't always happen in the fourth quarter, but happen in critical spots. We are finding a way to make those plays right now. Johnson does get picked off twice in this game, and I would be shocked if one of those didn't go to Xavier McKinney. 7 for 96 and a touchdown for Eli Arrington. On defense, the interceptions go to Javon Bullard and Nick Bolton, not McKinney. And Benji Cormier has earned himself an upgrade, and I have just really liked his game lately, as I keep saying. Ball carrier vision goes up, spin move goes up, but maybe he should just stick to the jukes, because defenders have a lot of trouble wrapping him up. On the surface, his ratings are good, but I wasn't sure if there'd be enough of a difference maker here as a rookie, but sure enough, that high juke has showed up time and time again. And this guy's been showing up very consistently. It is Chuck Johnson. Let's go scrambler, just because everything else is pretty close. I like to do strong arm, but not until we have a little more of a gap there. Number 21 quarterback in the league now. Houston has dropped to 6-9, and the Jacksonville Jaguars are AFC South Division champions. Not only are we going to the postseason this year, but we have wrapped it up with 2 games remaining. The Baltimore Ravens have become the leading team in the conference, so we're projected right now to have a rematch with Kansas City. How awesome is that to see? We have clinched the division. Meanwhile, the Ravens have clinched their division. The AFC West is a really good fight, Viking Lion-esque, as one of those teams is going to be the 5 seed. And then the Jets currently lead the East. The Broncos are a wild card contender. I do think that we play for seeding here, as I don't think you want to be the 4 seed that takes on the Raiders or Chiefs in the first round. And the Chiefs are on a 6-game winning streak. I don't always catch who wins the Heisman Trophy, but it shows up here in the stories this week. Denzel Black, running back, wins the Heisman Trophy for 2028. I'm assuming he is the top running back in the class, so naturally he is the 4th ranked running back, and I'll keep him on the board just in case. He went to Indiana, 6 foot, 231. Great to good strength, marginal to poor speed and acceleration, and change of direction. Alright, I usually don't draft any running backs with marginal to poor athleticism. It's so weird to be in this position with less to play for. We obviously have something to gain, but have the playoff spot already taken care of. So we're wrapping up the regular season in this episode, of course. I expected Indianapolis to play us tough this game. We lead in the fourth quarter, 26-21. We have never won 10 games in a season. We're going for that now. 4 minutes left to go in the game. They fake it to Jonathan Taylor. Richardson, incomplete. Cisco defending. Hand off Taylor. Met by Vita Vea and denied. Can the defense get the ball back now? 2 tight ends for Indy. Taylor the carry. Doesn't get it. Denied again. The Vita Vea effect. When I see him available in a franchise, I just offer him a contract. And this slip screen, yeah, that's going to have to just go. I don't know, it seemed like it's gotten worse. Maybe from certain formations it doesn't work nearly as nicely, but clearly it's been a problem. That is Heath Tuck on the reception. He doesn't normally see a lot of playing time. But I am not seeing Eli Arrington on the field right now. I wonder if he is now injured again. We fake it to Cormier. Johnson will take the 8-yard loss. 3rd and 12. Cormier protects the football. And that is going to ensure Indianapolis gets the ball one last time. All right, a field goal, though. A big one for Aubrey. He misses! We've seen him hit from 64. This was a little bit further in. but he misses wide left, and the Colts get a very short field. Making that would have made this an 8-point game. The door is open. See, they can do the slip screen just fine there. It's Taylor down the sideline. Big pickup. Richardson on first down, and it's Chaz Macklin in his second year. We'll see how they manage the clock here. I'm not expecting, if they score, us to have much remaining. That's poked away. Zach Bond. We were able to stop Jonathan Taylor on that last drive. I don't expect they'll be running the ball at all here. Richardson scrambling his way to a first down and all the way to the 5. And they're wisely letting this clock run. They want this to be the last possession. Richardson off his spot, scrambling again for the touchdown. Indy on top. He looks so dejected. Very important 2-point conversion attempt. They will pass. Oh, it's dropped. Cisco missed it, but still no conversion. 20 seconds to get Aubrey a chance. If you can get it to near midfield, he will come out. Hey, this is good postseason prep right here. What can you do in 20 seconds with the game on the line? I cannot spot Eli Arrington right now as Chuck Johnson steps up and is hit down. 4 sacks for Indy. Leaves us with 15 seconds. Hopefully 3 plays. Pressure handled. It's caught by Easley to the 49. The target mark is only 4 yards away. We have a timeout as well to stop the clock. It's Johnson, sacked again. Leatu Latu has 3 sacks on the day. So now it's not going to come down to Aubrey. From here, it's a 71-yard field goal. So Johnson's going to spin out, fire this one as far as he can, and it's incomplete. So close to giving Aubrey a chance at redemption and the win. But the Colts pull it off, ending our win streak. Good game again from Johnson. It blends in with many of the others he's had this season. Run game was all right, but Richardson, when he can take off, he is a big difference maker. And it doesn't seem like Eli played much this week. I'm guessing he had a practice injury, which is preferred because he'll probably come back for Week 18. All right, what's the storyline here? I think this is for Eli Arrington. I'm just going to click on it. At this point, I'm letting the Eli Arrington stuff play out. We're talking about the self-scouting. We wanted to get Arrington the ball more. He's frustrated, even though we're playoff bound. You didn't get the player involved, so his position group has lost trust. Their morale is down 5. So that's all the receivers. I thought it would be Arrington specific. Had we made the change earlier to taking him out of the slot, I think we would have had him over 14. But it was hard to recover when he was sitting at like 9 halfway through the year. The numbers are phenomenal for Chuck Johnson. Very hopeful for him to hold on to normal development. Not expecting him to get bumped up to superstar this year. His yardage isn't nearly high enough. Trevor Lawrence has a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns, a lot of picks. He is second in the league this year. And for interceptions, Patrick Mahomes, 53 with a game to go. Isn't the record like 55? With 1 game left to go, we are projected to take on the Raiders on Wild Card Weekend. Kansas City now leads the West. Guess who we play in Week 18? Because we did not beat the Jets, there is no chance at a simple head-to-head tiebreaker. Perhaps there is a way for us to become the 3 seed, but it would require us to win, them to lose, and for there to actually be a tiebreaker in our favor. But the difference in being the 3 and 4 seed is facing the Raiders, who have been one of the best teams in the league, versus potentially Denver, who is 10 and 6 right now, more of a typical wild card team. One more upgrade today for Ezra Telfer, the rookie, who I hope ends up being Rookie of the Year. And then we have Stanley Billups, and we should know his development. It is star. 4-star development players come out of our most recent draft class. And Benji Cormier, with normal development, has also been impressive. The Raiders have Brian Branch, Brock Bowers, Max Crosby. Chris Carpenter is their quarterback. He is 25 years old. James Cook is their running back. I remember them making that move. At receiver, there isn't a major standout, but Brock Bowers helps make up for that. They also drafted one of the best defensive tackles to come out of any of these draft classes in Keontae Foster, a superstar whose boosts take him into the 90s, and he has 3 straight double-digit sack seasons. And these don't come easily. We are on to the season finale. The Jaguars are playoff bound. Now we determine our seed and first opponent. So now that it's actually going to happen, I wanted to talk about the playoffs a little bit. So typically in these series, knocked away by Zach Bond, early on, when we haven't had much playoff success, every playoff game gets its own video, which if you make a long run can be up to 4 episodes. I think most playoff games will likely be 1-game videos, but I don't think I'll guarantee that. Say it is a lopsided victory for us. I think it makes sense to move on to the next game, as long as it's not like the Super Bowl or something. When I make these series, I try to have it so that in the playoffs, the video length isn't a giveaway as to what happens. So for instance, what if we go to the wild card and it's like a blowout and not competitive? I think then I just add on to the end of the video, kind of previewing the offseason more and talking about the team and stretching the video out that way. But I think there are times the right games have to line up, of course, for us to have maybe 2-game playoff episodes. I did a lot of that in the Miami series with the Dynasty, and that worked out pretty well. I've been thinking about how I could improve the playoff formula for my series. I did that with the Cardinals franchise a little bit for MLB, and then I'm wondering, okay, what do I do here in Madden? I think it really just depends on the game, but I have some options for putting together episodes. Chuck Johnson on 3rd and 9. He's going to leave the pocket and run for the first. I think being that we haven't played any playoff games yet, as Cormier is going to rip off a very good run, we probably do 1-game episodes regardless for at least a little while. Eventually, a wild card game might not be all that exciting. Nice catch, Eli. I'm sure I'll figure it out based on the types of games that we get and everything. Johnson's going to swing this out. It's a good pickup, and Cormier takes it to the 11. We're about to get through the 4th year of the series after really only seeing 4 play out in the Raiders series. And very fitting, we're taking on the Raiders here, and they could be our first playoff opponent with the Jags. Yeah, you should probably think about blocking Crosby. Raiders have it up 4. Carpenter connects inside the 20. Tutu Atwell is their number 1 receiver, when he would have opened as like the number 3 or 4 with the Rams. But the Raiders are sitting here with 12 wins, looking for 13 as Carpenter gets it away. I really wanted to see us get to 10 victories, but the Raiders go up 2 possessions on a touchdown to Dylan Ellington. I like this Raiders defense a lot. They have impact players at all levels. They've been good in free agency. They've drafted some difference makers, and Cormier turns this into a good first down. Brian Branch, Ivan Pace are 2 of the big free agent additions, and that's Pace, 43, who makes the play. Crosby and Keontae Foster play side by side, so very scary for the right side of our line. Johnson dumps, and they're contesting these throws. 3rd down and 6 for Chuck Johnson. It's Arrington to continue the drive. This is really good news for anybody who has a Tyvon Branch jersey, as Brian Branch is also wearing number 33. So that would help out a few people here in the fictional Las Vegas Raiders crowd. Taking it down inside the red zone. We run Joe Johnson now. He gets ahead of steam to the 6. Over the middle, and the former Raider nearly scores. Trey Tucker. Cormier up the gut and swallowed up by Keontae Foster. Again running into the end zone as Pooney blocks Foster on his own, and Cormier gets the score. Jacksonville's 2-point try. Johnson into the dirt. And the Raiders will have it now with 5.5 to go. Raiders ball and driving. Here's Chris Carpenter underneath. Very close to the marker. 3rd and 1. James Cook has the first down. Play action for Carpenter. Wide open Brock Bowers. Raiders in business. James Cook on the carry, as the Jaguars will have to spend all their timeouts. But a field goal now can make this an 8-point game, with us missing the 2-point try. 2 tight ends on the field. James Cook trying to end it, and that's what he does, essentially. Pressure gets there. Carpenter is sacked. So that'll leave us with, about 20 seconds to try and get a touchdown plus a 2-point try. Unless they somehow miss this, which they do not. 31 touchdowns and 4,000 yards on the season for Chuck Johnson. What a phenomenal second year of growth. But might be looking at a 9-8 season. We are playoff bound, but how does the regular season come to an end? Chuck sets, fires deep downfield, and it's knocked away from Brian Thomas. Would like to see us get a sideline throw just to have a throw to the end zone. Not like that. He took that way too literally. Johnson on what could be the final play. They're trying to keep Max away, but he's still taken down. And the Raiders are victorious, a 13-win potential wild card team. And the Jaguars win the AFC South with a 9-8 record and close the year losing 2 straight. This could be a preview of what's to come, but also by virtue of winning, it gives them a chance at actually taking their division. I think we'd rather face the Raiders than Kansas City. No new injuries, though, coming out of Week 18. That is a big positive. Now to find out the first playoff opponent in the Jaguars franchise rebuild are the Las Vegas Raiders. It's a rematch. Same stadium, same everything. But now a lot more on the line. Chiefs take home the 1 seed. The Texans are also in as the 7. We end the year with the best run defense in the NFL, a top 10 scoring offense, and a top 10 scoring defense. We did a lot of things well this season, and Chuck Johnson's growth is a massive reason why. 31 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. We still took a lot of sacks, but it's a young and developing offensive line, so that was to be expected. But Johnson got better in every category. Benji Cormier finishes as our leading rusher with 634 yards and 5 touchdowns. Joe Johnson does have 416 with 11 scores. I'm hoping it's at least enough for him to hold on to his star development into next year. At receiver, Brian Thomas leads us in yards and touchdowns with 12. Eli Arrington has a 900-yard year with 5 scores. Trey Tucker was very good with 55 catches, 658 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And Luke McCaffrey was very good when he was out there as well. Curtis Easley, 537 and 2 scores. Jelani Swain led us with 12 sacks allowed. Defensively, Devin Lloyd, 131 tackles. Josh Hines-Allen, 14 sacks. Martin Cooper had 7.5. Vita Vea, 7. Jonathan Moore, 6.5, and 5 for Trayvon Walker. The rookie Ezra Telfer leads us with 4 interceptions, and hopefully that was enough for a Rookie of the Year season. For league leaders, Patrick Mahomes, 57 passing touchdowns, a new NFL record. While David Corner does his best to honor Jameis Winston. Josh Jacobs takes home the rushing title with 13 touchdowns to go with 1,288 yards. Justin Jefferson has 2,059 receiving yards, and that is an NFL single-season record. Quinnen Williams was the AFC sack leader with 15. Patrick Surtain and Greg Newsome each had 6 interceptions. Tyquan Moulds had 6 and Devin Witherspoon 6. Moulds, a cornerback who was drafted a couple of years ago. That could probably get him up to superstar development. And the NFC sack leader is Aiden Hutchinson with 20. The league MVP, to no surprise, is Patrick Mahomes. But coming in 8th place is our Chuck Johnson. What a season he had. Sean McVay is Coach of the Year. Nate Bell is not in the top 10. Offensive Player of the Year is Mahomes. Josh Hines-Allen takes home Defensive Player of the Year at 32 years old. Please fight back against regression. I want him back next year. Offensive Rookie of the Year does go to Kendrick Judge, as our running backs just could not do enough individually and split time this year. Defensive Rookie of the Year in the AFC is Ezra Telfer. And I'm hoping he gets recognized as the League Rookie of the Year so he gets the development boost up to superstar. Best quarterback is Mahomes. Pacheco, best running back. Rice, best receiver. The Chiefs did not sweep all these awards. Tyler Linderbaum makes sure of that. Josh Hines-Allen, best D lineman. Alex Highsmith, best linebacker. Greg Newsome, best DB. And after 4 years of developing this team, we are finally playoff bound. Next episode, we face the Las Vegas Raiders in the first of hopefully many postseason games in this series. Leave your thoughts down below in the comment section, subscribe to the channel, and please hit that like button. And I will see you when we kick off the postseason in the next episode.